Hi, this is Todd with Mecklenburg County GIS, and this is the Polaris 3G video series, and this video is titled Searches. So let's go ahead and get started. If you are a new user to Polaris 3G, you'll know that in our old system, our searches have significantly changed. In the new, we've created this universal search box, which is similar to like Google search. If you've ever used Google search, you can go in and start typing your text information, and as it does the search, it will give you back a list of possible results. So you'll see some examples of that in this application. I'll also be going over the advanced search, which has some other searching capabilities such as tax situs address, owner search, buffer search, preliminary plan search, and engineering search. So for right now, let's go ahead and focus on doing the universal searches up here in the text box. Let's say, for example, I wanted to pull up a parcel ID. So what I could do is start keying in my parcel ID number. As I key in up to 6 characters of the parcel ID number, I'm presented with a result list. And if I wanted to go ahead and be more exact about that, I could finish that out, and then I would get the exact one I need. Once it shows up in that list, you just actually click and select it, and it zooms to that piece of property accordingly. So let's say I wanted to go search by address. Let's go ahead and click on the X, and that'll clear out the search box. And let's say I wanted to type in 5501 Ruth Drive. I can type in the first letter of the street and it'll give me a full list. So let's say I'm interested in one of these other locations. I could select that, or I could continue typing in the rest of the street, and then I'm only presented with the one. So let's go ahead and select that, and it'll zoom to that location. So here I'm at Ruth Drive, and let's say I'm interested in getting all of the properties that are on Ruth Drive in Charlotte. I can go back and I can type in just Ruth, and if you see here in a list, there's a list of roads that I can choose from, and Ruth Drive is one of those, so I can select that. And you can see I'm presented with a whole list of properties that reside on Ruth Drive, which there are 91. So you can do a search that way. Let's say I wanted to do a search on a street intersection. Let's say, for instance, Trade and Trine, which is in the middle of uptown Charlotte. I can type in Trade. I have to use the %, and then you notice I'm presented with a whole series of intersections here. Let's finish typing in Tryon. Then I'm presented with the 1, so I can click on that, and it will zoom me to that location. And from there, if I'm interested in properties that are around this intersection on the different sides of the road, from there I can go and click on the map and I can get that information. So very, very good, easy search option there. And let's say I know a person's last name and their first name or their first initial. I can type that information up here as well. Weeks, comma, and let's put an A for Amy. So I've got Amy, Angela, and Annette. Let's say I'm interested in Amy, so I can click on that, and then I'm presented with her information. Let's say I've got a point of interest or a landmark. Let's say Freedom Park. Freedom, I think it's Regional Park. Yep, Freedom Regional Park. And it'll zoom me to that area. So if you've got some of these points of interest layers, you can put those in there as well. Let's say a business. Let's say I'm interested in finding out who owns the property where the Home Depot is. Let's type in Home Depot. And I'm looking particularly at Ballantyne Commons Parkway. So as you can see, I'm actually zoomed to that property. Now it doesn't tell me who actually owns the property. It's just showing me where that Home Depot is located. So if I want to get that information, I need to click on the property itself to get that property details. And you can see here, here's the actual owner of the property located there. So that is cool. So I want to go ahead and proceed to the advanced search. And like I said, you can do, there's all these different searches that you can do in here, and we've reinstated what's called the tax situs address search. Every piece of property in the county has what's called a property record card, and they tie an address to each one of those property record cards. So it's an additional search to the search that you have up here in the main search bar. So let's say if I wanted to go back again and search for 5501 Ruth Drive, I could do it here. So I've got two places that I can search for this particular address, either up here or down here. And it'll go directly to that property. And let's say I wanted to search for a business, or a last name owner search, or last name first name. Type in Weeks, just hit search, and then it gives me all of those. So you notice I didn't type in a first initial. I could type in Amy, and then obviously it'll jump directly to Amy. Let's say I'm interested in property owned by Mecklenburg County. I could type in just Mecklenburg and do a search, or type in Mecklenburg County, and it would give me those listings. Let's go back to 5501 Ruth Drive. Let's say I'm interested in properties that are within 400 feet of this. So there's a buffer search, and I can go to buffer search and type in 400 feet. Let's say I was doing mailing letters or things like that for rezoning purposes, just for example. So I put in 400 and do a search. So I'm presented with that result list, and I'll go over the reporting tools later, but we can do a property summary report, a deed report, or we can do a comma delimited a CSV file report, and I'll show you those later. Let's go back to the advanced search. We have a preliminary plan search, so if you're interested in seeing kind of a preliminary map of a development that's going to be going in, you can do a search on those. Let's say, for instance, I'm going to look up Austin's Creek. And you can see here some of it's been developed, and here some of it is new. You can see by the purple lines, definitely new development. And let's say I'm interested in engineering grid. This is mostly used internally by city county engineering. It's a quick way to zoom around on the map to see areas of the county in regards to their hard copy maps, which they have indexed. And you can see I'm zoomed into G23. So that's pretty much it for the searching tools. I hope you got some valuable information out of this, and we'll be looking for you in the next video. Thanks.